Hi, this is Rick Kearney at Earl Stewart Toyota. We've been talking about cars. It's a good way to get a car going, but now let's talk about stopping. The brakes are very important, obviously. Everyone knows that. But how do you know when your brakes are getting worn out and it's time to replace them? One of the first ways are what are known as brake squealers. They're little tabs added onto the brake pads on the front brakes and also on the rear. When your brakes are getting skinny, they start rubbing against the rotor and they make a nice high-pitched squealing sound. It's a good alert, lets you know, hey, it's time to have my brakes inspected by a qualified mechanic. Another trick we use are these simple little meters. Just using this can tell me, are your brakes in the green range, which means they're nice and safe, yellow, which means, hey, it's time to get these looked at and it might be time for new ones, or red, which obviously is danger. Quite often, one thing you might encounter is when you step on the brakes, especially at highway speeds, the steering wheel suddenly begins to shake and vibrate. It can get rather violent. This is known as the brake rotor. This is actually the spinning component, and the brake pads squeeze down onto it to stop your vehicle. If this brake rotor begins to get a little bit out of shape, it can actually transmit that feeling right up into the steering wheel. So we have machines that we call brake lathe. This machine will actually allow us to take this rotor and resurface it. We'll grind a small layer of metal off of this rotor, bring it back straight and true, and make it ready to stop your car properly and safely again. Obviously, if this has been done a few times, or if the brake rotors are worn down to a small thickness, you might need new ones. Another thing that we inspect for are any of the brake lines, the flexible rubber hoses that run down to the brake calipers, looking for leaks, looking to see if they're cracked or damaged. Also to look at the wires for the anti-lock brake sensors. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, always be careful of those wires. If you yank too hard on them when you're disassembling something, it can break that wire and they get very, very expensive. Like a lot of components on modern cars, modern brakes last a lot longer than they used to. Old cars needed brakes very frequently, but modern cars, with a little bit of care, your brakes will last a long time. Take it easy when you're coming to a stoplight. Let off the gas and just coast a little bit. Gentle application of the brakes, they'll last a whole lot longer. Overheating your brakes by applying them too quick and too hard can lead to a brake pulsation because it'll actually wear that rotor out very quickly. That can get expensive, so folks, calm it down and slow down and drive easy.
Earl Stewart.